Francisco, your golden sun will shine for me. You guys take care. Keep on keeping on.
The Tenderloin is an unusual name, and when comedian Dave Chappelle came to San Francisco to film a comedy special in 2004, that choice moniker didn't escape him.
Went to that Tenderloin. There's nothing tender about that at all. That was rough. The opposite of tender. I have never seen crack smoke so casually before.
The Tenderloin district certainly wears the mark of homelessness, drug abuse, and poverty that comedian Chappelle mentions. But the Tenderloin also has a rich history and notoriety beyond the current gritty street scene. And that's what inspired community organizer Randy Shaw to say what the Tenderloin currently needs is not another clinic or shelter. What it needs is a museum. So what would visitors to a proposed Tenderloin Museum see or do? KALW's Stephen Short talks with Shaw about some of the possibilities.
Randy Shaw is the director of the Tenderloin Housing Clinic, and right now he's a historian, tour guide, and museum booster.
And the idea is you walk in the ground floor to the right, you'd have the performance space, cafe.
Shaw is walking through what he hopes will be the lobby of a future Tenderloin History Museum.
It hasn't been finalized, but just a lot of talk to sort of immediately give people walk in and feel they're in a different place.
Shaw is in the former lobby of the Cadillac Hotel at Eddy and Leavenworth Streets in San Francisco. Built the year after the 1906 earthquake, the Cadillac was home to wealthy visitors in the first part of the 20th century. Today, approximately 160 tenants in subsidized housing call it home. As Shaw mentioned, the museum is still conceptual at this point, but one of his favorite ideas has already been scrapped.
We want to make some money, because you have to make money off the venues, is have a boxing ring and have it like a fight club, like, because we have Newman's Gym, but the insurance issues. People in Pacific Heights would love to come down and box in the Tenderloin on Friday nights. Probably not going to happen at this museum.
A little too interactive.
Yeah, a little yeah, are you crazy? The insurance cost for that? Yeah.
Residents of Pacific Heights coming to the Tenderloin to punch each other does sound crazy. But many years ago, professional boxers did just that in the hotel's former ballroom. As Shaw mentioned, it was the home of Newman's Gym. Name a famous boxer and he probably punched a bag at Newman's. Jack Dempsey, Joe Louis, Sugar Ray, both Robinson and Leonard.
People don't know that we had Muhammad Ali training in Newman's Gym in the Cadillac Hotel where the museum will be.
Hi! Look at me now. Don't tell me that ain't a perfect specimen of a man.
Then there was the Tenderloin's music scene.
Jerry Garcia lived at the Cadillac in 1961. The Grateful Dead's very first live album was at the Great American Music Hall here in this neighborhood. So people, when they think of Grateful Dead in San Francisco, they think Haight-Ashbury, Panhandle. They don't realize this is where the music was recorded and when they really made the next step to the higher level of success.
Shaw says that in the early 1970s, Wally Hyder's recording studio on Hyde Street was the best in the Bay Area.
So this is where you'd want to record, and there's some great cross-fertilization because Crosby, Stills and Nash is playing in one room, Grateful Dead in another, Creedence, they're all there at the same time on site, hanging out for hour after hour recording.
The rise of the San Francisco sound in rock corresponded with the decline of another music scene that had been vibrant in the Tenderloin throughout the 50s and early 60s.
Most people do not know that the Blackhawk Jazz Club, which at the time Miles Davis, Thelonious Monk, Cal Tjader, Dave Brubeck, the jazz greats of the era, were recording live albums here in the Blackhawk at Turk and Hyde. There's a famous photo by the late photographer Jim Marshall of Miles Davis at Newman's Gym in 1971. He used to like to box in the Tenderloin.
In fact, photographer Jim Marshall captioned that photo of Miles Davis, "Don't hit me in the mouth, I gotta play tonight." Today, of course, the Tenderloin has a reputation for vice. And let's be honest now, that's a part of history that many people find alluring.
This was a place, as has been said, where you could always go in a restaurant and make book. Underground speakeasies, card games, including those involving the chief of police at times. So the Tenderloin had this kind of bar, restaurant, fun kind of atmosphere.
And that's about as far as Shaw will go on that part of the Tenderloin story. He doesn't dwell on current neighborhood crime, other than to say he thinks most of it is caused by non-residents. It probably won't be featured in the museum, and it doesn't have to be. It's right there on the street for everyone to see. So, who does Shaw think will come to the Tenderloin to learn about it?
We think European tourists are really going to be interested in this neighborhood. They like the grittiness. They're not into the Fisherman's Wharf scene as much. They want to see something that's more authentic.
Shaw's research on the topic surprisingly doesn't blame current crime and homelessness for lack of visitors to the area. He says it's because there's no focus, no center, no place for anyone to find what the area is about. That would be the purpose of the proposed museum and performance space. The museum would also offer walking tours of the 1930s buildings in the neighborhood, most of which have all of their original architectural elements. Shaw takes me into one, which was built as a YMCA hotel.
This looks like a European Renaissance palace or something with the top of this.
Yes, it's very Venetian in the color scheme.
Venetian, yes. It's
a crisscross of geometric patterns, the sort of borders you would have on an illuminated manuscript, and it's just part of the ceiling.
It's a great description of that.
Today, the building is one of the many single-room occupancy hotels, or SROs, in the Tenderloin. Shaw thinks this type of architecture could be another attraction. But isn't it going to be, well, creepy, going up and knocking on someone's door to see their single-room home? Shaw says a lot of reports have depicted the project in this manner. And he says these reports are totally wrong.
One reporter once said to me, "Well, gee, are you going to have people come to this neighborhood and gawk at people?" And I said, what's very interesting about that is Chinatown's marketed itself to tourists for 40 years, and I've never heard anyone saying that why are you bringing whites in to gawk at Chinese? I've never heard that. I've never heard anyone say, don't come to the Mission. Were you staring at Latinos? I mean, that is the weirdest thing. So there's a bizarre standard where somehow the Tenderloin is not allowed to play by the same rules as other neighborhoods.
While it's true that people may enjoy seeing and learning about the architectural gems of the Tenderloin, at the same time, it's equally true that tourists are going to have to walk around spilled trash bags on the sidewalk while dodging people who can barely stand up in the middle of a weekday morning, as I did on Shaw's tour. And that situation does not invite you to stop and linger. Yet the simple act of having people come through with an admiring eye can have its own benefits. You know how when you see someone looking up, other people start looking up too? It happened to us while Shaw was showing me around.
Well, my name is Joseph Charleston, and
you live here in town?
Yeah, I'm born and raised here. Grew up in Ingleside District.
So you were just we were pointing out the buildings.
I was tripping off y'all, and you guys caught my attention. So I noticed the building because nobody looks up if you notice in this neighborhood. The red light district or Tenderloin, nobody looks up. Everybody's looking down, or they got tunnel vision because of the drugs, the prostitution, and everything else that goes on here.
Charleston wouldn't consider tourists to be gawkers. He, too, sees them as potential agents of change.
San Francisco, I might be talking to a millionaire. He might walk by, or she. They're not going to allow this to continue.
And that, says Shaw, gets to the core of this project.
The core issue is this. Just because you're poor doesn't mean you have to live in an unpleasant, drug-filled, crime-ridden environment with a low quality of life.
It's going to take more than tourists experiencing the gritty urban realism of the Tenderloin to change it, much more. But if that causes a few more people to start looking up, well, it couldn't hurt.
Yeah, that's exactly right. It couldn't hurt, that's right.
In San Francisco's Tenderloin District, I'm Stephen Short for Cross Currents.
All right, Mr. B.
We go back way long years.
You protected me when I was homeless.
Yes,
That was my
I did.
protection.
I'm her guardian angel.
This is just the ghetto part of me, right? I love Turkey Taylor, right? All my friends is down here, and I can smoke all the crack that I want to when I'm smoking. You know, I could act out, I could fight, I could do whatever the hell I want to do. You know what I'm saying?
My really only source of income right now is what I get from this. Sometimes I get a sale. I just had my own show here about a month ago and sold, pretty good. So now I'm just kind of, making as much as I can and putting it in the shows here, which are really good.
The needle exchange started when a couple of my close friends died from the AIDS epidemic.
I do this every week in order to try to keep the community more safer from transmittable diseases. And I get about between 4,000 and 5,000 a week with supplies. Hey, buddy.
There's a young man on the corner of Jones Street past Golden Gate requesting for medical assistance. He's feeling faint and he's thinking he's going to die. He looks like he's in pretty bad shape.
I really like it here. It's peaceful, it's quiet. There's no drama, no screaming, no hollering. Come here, you can get a good peace of mind. They can go in the bathroom, wash up, and lay down all day. And then you can go right across the street and eat, which we'll probably go across the street and eat. And this church been here over 100 years. That's crazy, huh? Even if an earthquake comes, it's not going anywhere.
Oh, my goodness. And who are you? Yes, angels do come from churches, and I'm looking at one. Golly. Damn, girl. My.
When Miss Mona painted this mural, I was the first character she put on here. That's me. She immortalized me. And it's so awesome.
I love the TO, man. This is home, man. I'd rather die here today. I really would. I love this neighborhood, man.
There's something about the difficulty of being in the Tenderloin that brings out the very best in people.
Where are they going to go? This is the last neighborhood where you could find low-income housing.
They don't have a kitchen, they don't have a bathroom, so that's why people come outside, and that's what you see. That's the energy of the Tenderloin. The streets are people's living room, pretty much.
I find the Tenderloin to be endlessly fascinating, to be filled with really substantial, interesting people, with real people whose concerns and whose outlooks on life, they don't have the artificiality that I sometimes find in myself or my more middle-class friends.
I think a lot of aspects of the Tenderloin that for some folks might be challenging or might turn off some individuals, to me is just life in the Tenderloin. And I think if you can learn to embrace that, there's a lot of beauty here. You just have to be able to sort of get through the rough patches, get through the weeds a little bit to see the beauty of what really is realized here. And I think the level of community is much deeper in this neighborhood than in many others in San Francisco.
When I come home to you, San Francisco, your golden sun will shine for me. You guys take care. Keep on keeping on.
Time to sorrow. Someone who had been away suddenly came back today, and I allowed a hope to stray into my mind. For a moment, face to face, we looked back upon the place where long ago we went to chase our careless time. Oh, what did we if I could see something in her hand for me. I picked it up most carefully and looked inside. But as her love had long been dead, slowly then she turned her head and looked the other way instead, as if to hide. Oh, what did I know? Not what I was losing. My mind was moving so slow in confusion. Someone who had been away suddenly came back today, but I'd forgotten what to say to keep a friend. Darkness sometimes fills the sky. Children sometimes ask me why. Oh, I don't know. I used to try and answer them. Oh, what do you know? Not what I've been feeling. The past is healing so slow. My tomorrow gone to sorrow.